Hi everyone, this is Kalpana Nair. I'm a life coach and pranic healer, and today I wanted to talk about what transformation looks like. How do we heal? What does it really mean when people say that I had an aha moment? There is an internalization and a personalization of any discomfort that is felt by all of us. So when we talk of transformation, it doesn't mean that it isn't immediate in our lives. The results are for us to see. If you've been laid off from a job, or if you've broken up with a person, or if you're struggling with some issue in your life that is keeping you frozen in some area, they're all really very personal and immediate, the results of it and the effects on you. But the transformation comes when we understand that there is a personality type, there is a developmental type that we are that causes us to react in a certain way. And there are things that have happened across the years in our life while we were growing up, when we were children, sometimes past life information carried forward to this life, lots of soul information carried forward that has not been accounted for. But what do we do with this information? We can't stay stuck and blame it on our parents or blame it on somebody outside, blame it on a corporate that took our job away. We have to take that information and without making it personal, without using that information to make us go deeper into hell and sink deeper into hell, we have to take that information and say to ourselves that there is a reason that this has happened. It has its origin in a lot of old childhood, ancestral, genetic, soul information, but I am going to process it correctly so that I'm going to separate the internalizing of it, separate the personalizing of the entire system. And how do I separate it? How do I not internalize it? By understanding that there is a lack that is created at certain developmental stages in our life, and that lack is indicative of things that we as children wanted but did not get. So when we did not get that, we subconsciously at that time, because then we were infants or toddlers, or we were small, and we actually looked at our caregivers and our primary guardians and people who were supposed to look after us, our parents. We were consistently met with emotions and feelings that were not fulfilled. As a result of that, whether it was you looking at your mother going for love, protection, encouragement, praise, and that is not what you got. And what you got instead was scolds and reprimand and being criticized, and the opposite of encouragement, the opposite of love, the opposite of care. Whether it was done intentionally, whether it was done because mom was too busy or dad was too busy, does not matter. But what you as a child imbibed was that you don't have worth and you don't have value, and that you're very rejectable. So when you felt that again and again all through, whether it was just an infant who was subconsciously processing this, or you were a toddler and you could kind of understand that mom didn't do this, or later on it goes on to adulthood even, what it does is that there is a cumulative effect that happens within you, and because of that, because that is the only information, it's like when you join a new assignment, you're put through training, you go through different divisions, you know how your role fits in with that of the corporate vision, what's going on, what is your contribution, you know everything. But over here, you don't know where you fit in because you really were not given that training. You were only given the training to receive stuff that was not good about you. You received information, it may not even have been directly told to you that you're not good, but the interpretation and the translation of the actions and the activities that you were involved in at that time was that you're not good. There is a lack in you. You don't have what it takes. So whether it's being intelligent, whether it's having the capability to achieve, whether it's attractiveness, whether it's social engagement, you lack. The messaging that you get consistently at various levels and at various layers in your life is that you are not completely there. There is a large part that is missing in you. You are not good enough, you are not really valuable enough, your opinions don't matter, you are not worth the time, and that is what you have imbibed growing up. Your life situation that you're currently in, that you're grappling with, now you feel all that imprint has caused you to self-reject, has caused you to self-doubt, caused you to self-criticize. You don't really make that connection, but because there was no other training, no other way in which you knew how to, that's how you relate. That is your point of reference to everything in your life. In a life situation where things don't go your way, like I mentioned earlier, all those situations, you internalize it. The way your mind starts to work is that it must be me. I'm not good enough. I know I'm not good enough. I know that I should not have done this. Or I made a mistake when I did this. I always make a mistake. I don't know why I did this. So the constant chatter, the constant conversation that you keep having is that of self-reprimanding, self-doubt, self-devaluing. You really have no comparison of what it means to elevate yourself. You have no comparison what it means to talk kindly to yourself. You have only a point of reference of either being neglected, being ignored, being invisible, being rejected, being uncared for, somebody not giving you the attention you needed, just not getting your needs met. It all stems from here. So whatever you carry with you in any situation in adulthood comes from here. That's all you've been trained with. That's all the conditioning you have received. You internalize it. So now today when you're in this situation and we're actually trying to become aware of what it is that causes big transformation in some people, while some people just keep going round in that loop of thought and aren't able to cut off from it, is this very notion that the information that there has been an emotional wound that has been inflicted on you. I was not given encouragement and praise and value, and hence that's what I am internalizing. I don't know how to do anything that upholds me. You have no comparison of how to be good to yourself. And only having the information that you were wronged and only internalizing it is the difference between whether you make that shift or you don't. So if you have that information and only that information that you were wronged, without that perception that you were only given the wrong cues. So if you are not going to supplement that knowledge with the knowledge that it doesn't matter whether what was supplied to me at that time, what my subconscious learned all through my life, it does not matter today. Today I'm an adult. Today I'm able to process this information that I don't have it and I didn't get it. But in order to make that transformation, I need to understand that the person who trains me now to achieve all of this in terms of not internalizing, not personalizing, but coming out of that I don't possess, I am not good enough, I lack, doubts that we harbor deep within our system. All those, if we were to look at from a different frame of reference, from a place which says that the training of this was never meted out to me. I never learned how to develop this muscle of mine. All through my life, I stacked up the rejection, and I know very well, and I am an expert in figuring out how to convert any situation in my life into a situation which reflects how I lack and how I was rejected and how I'm not good enough. Bridge the gap between just knowing that information and how to transform by saying that the learning of all these things which I did not receive, which are still hurting in me, the learning of how to give this to myself is what I will do. So the reason I react adversely and internalize is because that hurt still exists in me. The wound is still there. It's been a lot of years that you have learned how to live like that. So when you live like that for so many years and you've really become an expert in converting the situation into how it was your fault or how it reflects that you're not good enough, now we have to make the effort of getting into a situation where we are saying, so we will hurt because we now understand and we've come to this very painful realization that I was not given what I was meant to be given and what I required. But I'm not going to get stuck in that frame of mind and that frame of reference, which I have been, and I'm going to remove myself to another frame of reference that actually serves me better and helps me overcome this constant self-doubt and constant chatter that puts me down and constant chatter that activates the pain and the hurt within me. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to be my own trainer. I am going to understand that what I have been hurt by, what I have not received, are the very emotions and are the very feelings that I am going to train myself to receive from myself. So when I say I need encouragement and I haven't got encouragement and I don't know what praise sounds like, I am going to actually sit and try and introspect and understand what it would mean if I was to tell myself that I did something right. If I was to like something that I did, what would the sound and feel and emotion of that be? I'm going to imbibe that. I'm going to now try and figure out a way in which I'm going to work on my intuition and my gut that says, yes, you do feel like you're being encouraged, like this is what you need to do to encourage yourself. So you will feel the push from within yourself to be that person for you that you have been looking outside of you. So maybe you have been looking for reinforcement and validation. You don't search on the outside because the praise and reinforcement and validation and love does not come from outside. It comes from within. And that thing within you that tells you is your higher self, is your inner wisdom, and that is your sense of self that you have to create. Nobody else can create that for you. Nobody else can tell you how it looks like for you. And when you imbibe this, when you drop the doubt about this, that no, it's not possible, or no, I don't know what loving me looks like or what praising me looks like, and it's so strange to praise me and to love me. But that's exactly what you have to live with. You have to develop that sense within you where it's not strange. It's strange because you don't have an experience so far of what it feels like. And that is exactly the experience that you need to develop and that you need to process in a way that it becomes second nature to you. You don't wait for anything outside to reinforce that for you first. So first you feel settled within. You feel comfortable within. You feel like you have the ability to be yourself, to be free of the fact that this is exactly how you want to be loved. This is exactly how you want to be appreciated. When you can find that out for yourself, then you found your sense of self. You found your inner core. You found that part of you that says, Yes, there was a lot of rejection, there was a lot of damage, but here is what I've learned. I've created a learning curve. I've created a training module that was me training myself and listening to my inner wisdom, my inner voice, my intuition to tell me what was needed next. I wasn't waiting endlessly for something outside or someone outside to fill that gap that I have within me, or fill that emptiness or that loneliness or that feeling of love that I am so yearning for and pining for and just not getting. And rather than being stuck just waiting for someone and it creating more pain and more hurt and more harm, I'm going to take that information and I'm going to transform myself as a result of that information, because this is my one life that I have. This is the way my one life needs to be lived. And when we talk of meditation and transformation and all kinds of things that people are doing, what are they doing when they do all that? They are taking a moment and they are feeling what it does and what it means for them to find the learning curve of this love and of this encouragement and of this caring and the kindness and the compassion that is needed. And when you start to listen to that trainer, that inner you who is your trainer, for this love and for this compassion and for this comfort, you immediately fit back into your life. You don't feel that dissonance. You don't feel that discomfort. You don't feel like you don't belong in your life. You don't feel like you're walking like a zombie like you earlier were, where you didn't feel a connection to yourself. You knew that there was so much that you could give, but you're just waiting. You're like in suspended animation. You're just waiting for something to kind of, start the process of living. So this is that information. This is that key that starts your living. When you are able to bridge that hurt into saying that I'm going to learn how to now teach myself love, and by doing the things that I want and by being my own trainer, by assimilating my own healing, however it goes. If today I'm going to want to write affirmations as a result of what my gut says that I need to do that, then I'm going to do that without any disbelief. Or even if you have disbelief, I'm still going to push through that and I'm going to write down my affirmations. Slowly, those entire set of affirmations that you have written, which feel so out there today, will start to feel truer for you tomorrow. And even more, because what are you doing? You are making your own format, your own template according to what has hurt you and how much you have internalized and how much you need to hold your own hand and hold your own inner wisdom to yourself. You did not believe you possessed that. But when you do start to believe that you possess that, when you do start to listen and see with your heart that has always said that you have it right now, you've got what it takes to train yourself, you've got what it takes to be that person. When you align with that, when you are able to say that I'm going to do this, I'm going to walk one tiny step at a time, then you will see that things will move. And it will not be an exponential change that happens just like that. It will be a tiny little thing that will shift, and you will recognize that shift and you will see that shift, very tiny, and slowly there'll be another tiny thing that happens and you'll recognize it. When you do believe and you've made that connect of training and of doing your own learning curve, you'll see that you are understanding, you are processing what it means to be that person for yourself. Do not wait for someone, but to be that human being that you were always meant to be. So I hope this has been insightful. You can be the trainer for yourself. that you can find that bridge that you can walk on back to yourself, to your own inner wisdom, to your own learning curve that is waiting for you. It's like for the first time you put your foot on the sand and you feel the sand in your toes, and for the first time you felt that ever, and you are enjoying that learning process. So it's like that. For the first time you feel what snow feels like. For the first time you feel what it feels to love yourself, what it means to you, and let it talk to you, let it guide you, let it give you answers, and you listen carefully, you listen intently, and you follow what you are being told. You follow that, and when you do that, you see that you become so immersed in only doing things that help you, that make you more self-loyal, that make you more self-caring, that make you uphold yourself more, and then your antenna are up every time you veer off that track and you try to self-sabotage or self-harm. Your antenna go up and your internal checks and measures kicks in, and it doesn't allow you to veer off that track of self-love and kindness and caring for yourself. So I wish that you are able to make this connection, and I know that the energy of that is within you, and that is what you need to connect with. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching.